Hi guys, in this video today we're going to look at the common errors for the return. Now this is something that we see a lot, particularly at the beginner or recreational level, and it's normally to do with this side glass. So, a couple of things to think about. First of all, from your ready position, you need that split step and then to move immediately. Probably the most common error is that players watch that ball for too long before they've even done any preparation or any movement at all. They want to split step and immediately move into that position so they can be ready for the ball.
Here you can see from the body position and the split step that he immediately moves into that preparation and is therefore in the right position to block that ball. It's important to make that return because at a good level that really is the point starter. After that you then need to work out a way of how you're going to get to the net, but it's very difficult to do that off the first ball. So sometimes you need a good return and then need to work the point out after that.
As we mentioned in the return video, you either want to take that ball early before it touches the glass or allow it to come off the glass so that you have space to play. The second most common error is when the serve goes into that glass, players step towards the glass and then try to play it off the glass. If they're going to allow it to come off the glass, they need to give it space to let it come off before they hit their return. If they decide to go forward, then yes, they need to step forward diagonally and take that ball early before it gets to the glass. But any hesitation and they're a bit too late for it, that means this shot is very difficult to play, so you want to make that decision almost as soon as that ball is coming off the opponent's racket and you can tell it's going to hit the glass.
Here I recognise it's going to hit the side glass, so my first step is back, so I have lots of space for the ball to come off the glass. Here I can see that I'm going to get there before the glass, so I step immediately forward. It's all about anticipating where the ball will go.
The third most common error is selecting the wrong ball to play after the glass. Now, as a general rule, if it's going to hit the front panel of glass, so that's from this separation forward up to the fence, if it's going to hit here, then you want to allow it to hit that glass and to come off, because you don't really have time to take that before and it's going to be rushed, therefore you're unlikely to hit a good shot. If it hits the back panel of the glass or it's going towards that panel, then you want to take that ball before, because if you allow it to bounce on that back glass here, then you get forced into the corner and then therefore you're jammed up on your return and you probably won't be able to hit the kind of shot you want to hit.
Here you can see the player realises it's going to hit the back half of that side glass, so they take the ball early. And you can see that the return and the next couple of shots, in fact, are really just to get the ball in and to get that rally started. They're not going for huge risks until the point develops a little bit more. The objective of the pair returning is to try and take that net position during the point. But it's obviously difficult if the servers are playing well and they force their players back. Sometimes it might take quite a few shots till you get that opportunity.
So we've talked about three most common problems for the return. But one final tip is that it's more important that you get the return in than you hit a good return. And so by that I mean, if you make the return, you still force them to hit a volley and therefore they've still got to try and win the point. Whereas if you miss that return, you've given your opponents a freebie and that's the easiest way for them to win a point. So you want to try and consider that their first volley is the first shot of the rally. They've served, you've got that next ball in, and after that you can worry about how you're going to win the point. Now we've done a video already on where you should hit your return, whether it's down the tee or into the side glass, whether it's best to play down to the feet or where to lob or when to lob. But for this video I want you to take away to avoid these common problems, but also important to get your return in.